And welcome to 520 Sports Talk. We are here at Frog and Firkin in the middle of University Main Gate Square, right off of Tyndall Avenue and University Boulevard. Something's always happening at the Frog, whether it's our show. They've got karaoke with Lucas on Wednesdays, which is tonight. He'll be on later on, I believe, at 10 o'clock. Live music sometimes. The big thing is they have sports 7 days, 7 nights a week. This is your home for Arizona Wildcat sports here at Frog and Firkin. We always thank Jody and Garrett Reitzman for laying out the red carpet. The whole team's here tonight. We got some commemorative T-shirts for them. Frog and Firkin threw out some of their swag, so it's going to be a really good time. Definitely check it out. If you're in the area, go ahead and stop on by. We got plenty of room for you guys to sit. Enjoy the food from Frog and Firkin. Voted the best pizza in town by the Arizona Daily Star, the best outside dining, and the best family-owned restaurant. Bianchi's Italian, the original location at Speedway and Silverbell, close to the West Campus of Pima College, and also our Northside location in Marana, where we do our Northside shows at Tangerine and Thornydale, just east of the intersection behind the McDonald's. Definitely check them out. Authentic Italian food. Been in business since 1977. Johnny Gibson's Downtown Market in conjunction with Highwire Lounge. This is where our show Under the Stars happens in the back patio. Hopefully we'll resume our show Under the Stars once it gets underneath 100 degrees. We have a couple shows coming up you won't want to miss. Definitely check out Johnny Gibson's, the only grocery store downtown, open till midnight. And check out their food. I mean, it's not just a place to go shopping. Great burgers, great sandwiches, great ready-to-eat food. That's Johnny Gibson's Downtown Market. High Five Sports Grill at the corner of Orange Grove and Thornydale up in Marana. Definitely check them out. Sports 7 days, 7 nights a week. They have darts. They have karaoke, they have trivia, and of course they have our show. So definitely check out High Five Sports Grill at Orange Grove and Thornydale. Dynamic comfort, heating, and air conditioning, where your comfort is our only concern. Give them a call at 520-323-0008. And Arizona Native Landscaping, design, installation, and maintenance. Call Arizona Native Landscaping. Actually, go to their website, ArizonaNativeLandscaping.com, or check them out on their Facebook page at Arizona Native Landscaping. Also, they do turf, so if you like the convenience of the green stuff but don't want the high water bill, definitely check them out for turf. And we will get with the rest of our sponsors a little bit later on the show. So we have the head coach from the University of Arizona cheer squad. I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself, Jamie, and tell us how long you've been doing this. What's your goal to see these kids? You know, obviously you want to see them grow not only in cheerleading and athletics, but also as young men, young women, and academically.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks for having me. Jamie Bernier. This will be my 6th season with the Arizona Cheerleading and Mascot Program. Very blessed to be there, and just happy to be here tonight. So one of the biggest goals of our program is not just, performance, and we are a performance team, and we are there for entertainment and support and pride for our school, but it is about life experience and experiences that you get and people that you meet and interact with and learning those life skills throughout there. So big goal of our program is they become better people, productive citizens. They are comfortable with themselves and just enjoy college and enjoy their experience to move on to be better, bigger and better things.
You know what? And they embody, in my mind, the true meaning of the word student athlete. I mean, these kids do some incredible and phenomenal routines, flipping, balance, strength, and they all do it precision-like work where you're not going to see them make a mistake very often, and if they do, they can probably cover it up real quickly. But it's just, they're good athletes. A lot of people don't feel that cheerleading goes along in the athletic world, and it really does if you get down to it and you go to a practice and you see the tumbling and the flipping and especially the holding them up. The flyers are up top and they're the balance and the strength that the base people have.
Yeah, it takes an incredible amount of athleticism, and many of our female athletes are former gymnasts or have grown up in cheerleading and have learned the gymnastics and learned the body awareness and the body control. Many of our guys, some have backgrounds in cheer before they get to college, but most have other athletic backgrounds in other sports. And those that come new to cheer in college often comment, like, this is nothing like I've ever tried before.
Oh, I'm sure.
it's holding people above your head, and there's a lot of trust, and that it takes a lot of practice and a lot of precision to be on, and have that trust and sync together. And timing is a whole lot of
timing. That's another thing. Yeah, timing is definitely. I sit at half court during the U of A women's basketball team, so I get I've got a courtside seat for this, and just some of the things they do is just amazing. I mean,
thank you.
I don't know how they do it, and they have my mad respect. So let's talk a little bit about the community outreach that you guys do. I know that you do different things in different areas, like Children's Hospital or different things like that.
Absolutely. So, we are a non-competitive team. So our goal is to be there for our athletic teams, our school, and also our communities. So we have what's called a request system, and it's either ICA and our athletics that request us. Lots of things come from the university, but also just our community and in Arizona completely. So we are out doing appearances every week, sometimes multiple times a week. My mascots have almost every day somewhere, and that's everywhere from being in schools to going to drives. We do some philanthropic work. We do Ronald McDonald House once a year. We've done other things, and we try to show up at the children's hospitals during one season or another, just to go. Sometimes we go along with football players that go. We've done that before, but those kind of outreach things are really what makes it special, and the people that they meet and the experiences they get to do. People love cheerleaders and mascots, and they appreciate us being out there, and it's fun to have that attention, and it's fun to be able to give that joy to other people. So we do that all the time throughout the week. Sometimes on top of their 20 hours that they put in, for practice and workouts and game days, we are in there. We've got a couple tomorrow that we're at. I've got 4 cheerleaders at the Diamondback games right now, doing the Arizona night. So we are all over the community, and it's a big part of our program. It's a big foundation of what we do. We are here for them.
And if you guys don't think that wearing those mascot uniforms is difficult in the Arizona weather,
oh, it's brutal.
That in itself takes a lot of fortitude and strength, because it's definitely not cool here during the summer.
Yeah.
So let's talk about. I mean, like you said, everybody loves cheerleading, but what I see most of it, and it's probably in a smaller arena than the football stadium, is McHale Center. Whether it's Coach Barnes' team, Coach Miller's team, it's just they ignite the crowd. I mean, as much as a player does with a good play, a slam dunk or a good shot, they will ignite the crowd, and that's gotta, obviously helps the home team. It's a lot easier to play at home than it is on the road. So talk a little bit about how you go about doing, just getting the crowd involved. Maybe when they need to get up, the other team's on a scoring run or something that that you need a little spark for the Wildcats.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of our job, we are part of the whole atmosphere inside McHale or on the sideline and in Arizona Stadium. And it is about crowd interaction and crowd experience that they get. So when we get up there and we have that timeout, or we see that it's too quiet in there, that's when our job is to step in. If there's a timeout and there's an entertainment factor, there's huddles and people talking, so we throw it in do our athletic stunts and things like that. So it is on. We are on all the time. We are constantly doing something through either cheering or stunting or tumbling, but it is their job to just be on all the time and throughout the entire game, and really picking up on those key areas and starting that crowd chant. Sometimes you'll hear one person started in the crowd, and that's our job to pick it up and make it louder so that the whole crowd starts in on it. And it really, like you said, it ignites that in McHale Center. It gets people excited, and we want it loud. We want it.
The trickle effect down to the players that are performing on the field or on the court definitely is helpful. So let's talk about, now obviously you've got a bigger squad during football than you do during basketball. So how does that work? I mean, you've got a bigger squad and they kind of pare it down a little bit. What is the determining factor for that?
So, our team is, what you see on the football sidelines is mostly our entire team. So it's a space issue inside McHale. So we just sign up for games, and we do 5 couples or, 3 to 5 couples every game. So we rotate, and they get to kind of look at their school schedules and, say like this game is right before a huge test, so I'm going to choose the other one. So we do that. What's challenging about that is that they have to be very versatile because they
Sure.
have to be able to stunt with every single person on the team.
Oh, that's true.
And
Good
we work
point.
versatility because it's a new crew every game. So, and it's and people work together differently. So that's something we really work towards, and that's also a very challenging part is, getting people stunt differently. Their timing is differently. So we work a lot in practice being with everybody. So when it comes to that, we have different crews and they get to rotate. It gives them also a little bit of a break. We have a lot of times 2 games per week, especially in the fall. We have a football game and sometimes there's going to be 2 volleyballs. In November, we have volleyball that we cheer for, all home games. We have football, and men's and women's basketball have started.
Sure.
So there is 1 week coming up that we have 6 straight days of games, so that way we get to rotate and they get a little bit of a break there as well.
And that's where the time management comes in the student athlete part. And I know that you really stress that, they have to maintain grades just like any other athlete or actually any other student. I mean, you don't make grades and
they don't cheer.
They don't cheer. So
Absolutely.
The time management issue is a really big responsibility, and it's a really big plus and habit that they take into their adult life because, now you're working and you've got to go home to a family, that type of thing. All again, time management. So
Absolutely.
A lot of things that you learn, a lot of lessons, a lot of things you learn in your adult life come from athletics.
Yes.
Whether you're, a football player, cheerleader, basketball player, or whatnot, you learn a lot of different things that carry over into post-college life.
Absolutely, and they have to learn time management as well. We practice at 6 a.m. 3 days a week, and then they go to workouts 3 days a week, and they have their school, and they have appearances, we have games and stuff. So it is learning how to balance everything because, like we said, they are students first, and we emphasize that, and when we check up on them, we try very hard to make sure that they know exactly where they are stand-wise for their classes, and when that starts to suffer, we step in and we help them and make them realize, like, this is what you need to do first. And like I said, they do have to maintain a certain grade point average,
Sure.
just like any of our other student athletes on campus.
That's great. Well, thank you very much, Jamie.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you laying the foundation for the cheerleader squad, and now we'll let the kids build the house.
Great, thank you so
All right,
much.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right, so we're changing up here. We're going to do 4 groups of 5 cheerleaders. We'll get back to some sponsors. Jim Miller State Farm, located at Coach Line and Silver Bell on the up in the Continental Ranch area of Marana, where I live. Definitely check him out. He's right next to the Pima Federal Credit Union building. If you don't see his office, look in the parking lot for that red VW and go inside and bug him for a quote. He's your one-stop shop for life, auto, home, and renter's insurance. Also, he is my volleyball reporter for Coach Rubio's team, and he does a fabulous job for that. So thank you, Jim Miller, Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating. This is the last part of the year that you want your air conditioner to break down. Still over 100 degrees. It's Arizona. What are you going to say? Definitely check them out. Call David Murrieta or go to oasisairconditioningandheating.com. Get your ducts cleaned out. I'm not talking about the Oregon quacks. I'm talking about DUCT. You wouldn't believe how much your system will work a lot better once you get all the garbage out of your duct work. So definitely check them out. Brittany Palma, the A to B team on First Heritage Realty. Brittany is one of our guest co-hosts. She's also our realty sponsor. She's been here on a jiu-jitsu show. She's a jiu-jitsu athlete. She's also a fitness competitor. So definitely, if you want to buy a house, sell a house, definitely move the healthy way and give her a call at 520-270-7958. Arizona lending specialist with Mo the Mortgage Lady. Mo is a really good friend of mine. She does our Spotlight Player of the Game football awards certificates. I was at Pueblo High School today. I'll be at Ironwood Ridge tomorrow before I go up north and cover the Sun Devil game. So definitely get a hold of Arizona lending specialist. She will undercut the Novas, the Sun Streets, all the national brands by 0.5 to 0.75%. And when you're spending a couple $100,000 on a house, saving a few $1,000s on your mortgage is definitely smart. We'll get to the rest of the sponsors a little bit later. Okay, so also this is an interactive show. Feel free to comment, say hi to the athletes. using the comment section of Facebook. We want you to be as much a part of the show as I am, as Pearson or the athletes. So thank you very much for that. Also remember, we are hooked up on social media thanks to Pearson. This show will be on YouTube tomorrow. For those of you who don't have Facebook, give them a chance to go home and upload it. We're also 520 Sports Talk on Instagram, at 520 Sports Talk on Twitter. And did I forget everything? Facebook, we got that. And also our sister company up in the Valley, 602 Sports Talk, with all the other things. So thank you so much for coming. I've been looking forward to this show all summer long. Jamie and I set it up last year. We didn't really know who was going to be here yet because some of you are returning, some of you are new. So we'll start with you. We'll go around this way. Just give us your name and what's your course of study and what year you are in school.
My name is Dominic Trejo. I'm studying computer science, and I'm a freshman.
All right.
I'm Christina Zamora. I'm studying nutritional science, and I'm a senior.
I'm Carter Hayek. I'm a junior, and I'm studying film and television.
I'm Jacob Caller. I'm studying finance and economics, and I am a sophomore.
And I'm Paige. I'm studying marketing, and I'm a sophomore also.
Okay, so I need you and you on my staff when you get done. That's great. Okay, so let's talk about what got you to come to Arizona. I mean, obviously there's 1,000 colleges across the country. The most important thing is, do you have the degree that I want? I mean, first and foremost, because we are student athletes, not athlete students. But what was the deciding factor?
A big deciding factor is that I'm a Tucson local, so this school's always been a part of my family growing up. And I also did have my degree, so that played a big role in picking to come here.
And you can always go home for dinner.
That's very true.
I'm from Phoenix, so I really liked that it was close to home and that it wasn't like too close. My family could just come here all the time, but it was still pretty close. I liked the programs that they offered here, and I really liked the cheer team and the program they had here, so we came here for that.
Terrific.
Yeah, so I'm originally from the Chicago area,
Okay.
a little south called Bloomington, Illinois.
I know where that is.
In the middle of the cornfields.
Sure.
So, but I've been kind of passionate about the film industry for a very long time, and they had the program here, and I wasn't smart enough to get into any of the California schools, but
I'm from San Diego, and I'm the same boat. I couldn't get into a UC school.
yeah, but yeah. So like Dominic just said, my major was here, and I just wanted to pursue it and kind of wanted to get away from home. So that's how.
All right, thank you.
So I actually had two parents who were alumni of the U of A. So since I was a kid, it was always bear down, bear down. Like, I know where you want to go. I was like, do you really know where I want to go? But I came and visited the campus. I was a huge fan of Arizona basketball, and so that kind of got me super interested. And then once I was here, it was just a different college feel, and it kind of sold me on it. So it brought me to U of A.
So did you really have a choice with your parents?
In their opinion, absolutely not.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm from Southern Illinois too, so it was a big change for me, super far away, but it was something I really wanted to try, and I kind of wanted to branch out. And I came here actually with a friend, and I went to one of the stunt clinics for the cheer team. And when I went there, that's like when I fell in love, and I was like, this is where I want to be. Like, I love the people here and just like the energy and everything. And I'm also a business major, like I said earlier, and they have an amazing business program. So kind of just like taking all of that, and the weather too, like all of that into consideration, I was just like, this is my perfect place.
Okay, so speaking of the weather, it's a big difference between central Illinois and southern Illinois.
Yes, yeah.
And here. Now, I lived in southern Michigan, so I know the humidity factor back in the Midwest, but I mean, 105 degrees is 105 degrees. How did you guys acclimate, or was it like a shock, or was it a fairly easy transition?
So the heat, definitely coming here like in the summer and like going into fall, at first I was like, okay, I don't know if I can do it. But once I got past that, once I got to fall and winter, I was like, this is perfect. And getting the dry heat instead of humidity was like such a big thing for me. So I was like, honestly, it's not that bad. I don't know if you're the same.
Just kind of tag along. The humidity really kills you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
it's the difference between sitting in an oven and sitting in a steam room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Exactly. So coming down here is kind of a blessing in disguise.
Totally.
We're lucky enough to kind of have all 4 seasons. Kinda gets cold. There's kind of a fall. There's kind of a
I know I don't miss driving in the snow.
Oh, no, not at all.
no. It's But yeah, there's definitely a huge difference between the humidity and the dry heat for sure, which is a plus. But
Okay. And for you, being up the road in Phoenix, did you have any pressure to go to Arizona State or Grand Canyon or any of the Phoenix area schools?
When I decided to come to school, I had absolutely no idea where I wanted to go. My parents are both from California, and we never really into like college like about anything. I have two sisters up at NAU, and I'm like the only one down here. All my brothers went to school in California. I don't really know why I picked it. I feel like a lot of kids from my high school came here, so I just decided to come here too.
Well, it's a good school. It's kind of funny with the Arizona ASU. I mean, they're definitely rivals. You know, Arizona doesn't like ASU, ASU doesn't like Arizona, but everybody seems to like NAU. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, that's that cool school up north where it gets cold. So it's a little bit different mindset. So, all right, so let's talk about cheering. You guys all, I'm assuming, came from high school cheer teams. How many of you came from competitive high school cheer teams where you actually did competitions? Okay, so let's talk to you three about the competitions and tell the viewers, I mean, you know, it's not all pom-poms and holding up the sign and the megaphones. I mean, there's a lot of athletic ability that goes into that, and especially in a competition. I know the viewers at home, if you saw Bring It On or Hellcats or some of one of the cheerleader movies, I mean, you know, these guys really work really hard. So talk to us a little bit about competitive cheerleading.
Yeah, so actually, I did competitive cheer all throughout high school. And even starting in high school, like we did workouts and we did all different things. And even here, we work out 3 times a week. We go to all different appearances. A lot of us do private like studies, practices like off on the side. Like if we're just want to get together on a Thursday night, we'll go to like an open gym and we'll all like do workouts or like get together. So it's like, aside from cheer, there's so much more that we do in it, and working out is like such a big part of that. So it's really cool to like get to like see like we're not just like hitting a motion and like smiling to the crowd. Like we actually like work hard for it. We have like long practices and like, but at the end of the day, it's like totally worth it. Like getting to like see the stunts and the tumbling and like just the progression throughout the year. It's a really cool experience.
And like Coach Jamie alluded to, 20 hours a week of practicing them, and that's as much as a football or basketball player.
I know,
practices.
it's crazy.
All right, go ahead.
So I was a gymnast growing up from pretty much like my entire life. When I got to high school is when I started doing cheer. I was on a cheer team with my sister. We had like a really good program. We were practicing all the time. Like Paige said, we were working out all the time. Lots of running. It definitely paid off. I mean, coming out of high school, I had 2 state championships and a national championship, and that
Where did you go to high school?
I went to Mountain Ridge High School.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that kind of really set me up to kind of be part of a team here. We were always all girl in high school though, so it was interesting coming here and being on a team with boys. But I think like the work ethic and having this team bond really came from high school.
All right, great. And you were also a competitive cheerleader. Talk to me about it from the guys' point of view.
So being in competitive cheer, you really have to like learn to like work with other people really well.
Sure.
Because in high school it's more so group stunning. So like you have to really focus on timing and making sure that everybody knows the counts and like what everyone needs to do for each stunt. And it's the one thing that took for me is like remembering like really long routines.
Okay.
Because it would be like 2 to 3 minute long routines where you have like go from one stunt to a different stunt, move around and do like rolls and different jumps. And that was like something that was really fun for me in high school.
And like I said, very athletic maneuvers. So we'll go around each of you. Continue. We'll start with you this time. What's your favorite sport to cheer for? Whether it's men's sport, women's sport at the U of A.
Okay, for me personally, my favorite one is men's basketball all the way. Partly because of the program. It's such an amazing program, and just coming there, seeing all the fans, they usually sell out every game.
Sure.
So that's like such a cool thing to like see a packed full stadium, and then the lights turn off and they play the music. Like I get chills every time still, but that's definitely my favorite men's basketball.
All right.
So for myself, I'm actually a first-year cheerleader, so I couldn't tell you what my favorite is.
What are you geeked up for?
Right, but I'll tell you, like I'm really looking forward to basketball.
Okay.
I've always been a huge basketball fan, so being able to see the Cats go out on the court and do their thing, it's gonna be a fun time.
All right, thank you.
yeah, so to kind of tag along with these two, it would have to be men's basketball. Just the overall atmosphere. It's you can't really put it into words, can you? It's something that kind of just captivates you, and something that really, I don't know, you feel a part of like a home in a bigger team than than these guys kind of sitting right here. And we're part of a nationally known program, and so we're always looking to win, always looking to sell out stadiums and stuff. So that's definitely the hypest part of men's basketball.
For me, I think that I had to turn like a toss-up between football and men's basketball. Kind of like they said, men's basketball is so much fun. It's always full. Like as soon as the lights turns off, it's like a feeling that you'll never forget. But that's the same goes along with football. During our pregame, like even just running through it today, it kind of like gets me really excited. When the fireworks go off, it's actually something that like you will never ever forget. So I think it's fun having everybody come out like that, and I like them both. So.
All right, great.
So I've never cheered a football game before since I played football in high school, but I'm really excited to cheer the football games because I don't know, I live and breathe football. So
Coming from a football player. All right, that's great. I got a question. Where does Jacob see himself in 10 years?
I'm on the spot already.
Yeah, you must have a lot of fans out there, and thank you for the question.
I mean, it's hard to say. You never really know where life's going to take you. I mean, last year I would never have imagined myself getting ready to cheer my first football game, but here I am. I would say 10 years from now, I'd like to be somewhere at the beach, most likely.
My brother.
Get out of AZ. I'm a Arizona native, so, one of my goals long term is to get out of the state. I don't know where.
Let me give you a hint. San Diego, America's finest city.
Right. Favorite vacation spot of the Phoenicians.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, I'd say somewhere at the beach. Good job, good family. Those are some of my end goals.
Oh, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you for the question. All right, so funny question time. We ready for that? All right, so we talked about academics. You guys all know about how important that is. Coach Jamie will light the fire under you if you're having a little struggle and stuff, I'm sure. But we got another one, okay. What's Christina's favorite color?
My favorite color is pink.
I thought you were going to say navy and cardinal.
It's a close second.
Okay. All right. That's a good question. Okay, so you guys are college kids. You all like to eat. I can see it out there. All right. Everybody's been to a county fair, a state fair, right? Okay. I want to know, what's your favorite food at the fair?
I love going to the fairs. It's like my favorite thing to do. And back home, like going to the state fair was a really big thing for me. But it's not really a food, but have you ever had like the lemonade shake-ups? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've seen them. I've never had them.
They're my favorite thing. I'm like a sucker for like sour, like and sweet stuff.
Okay.
So definitely the lemonade shake-ups are like, every time I go anywhere that has that, I have to get one. They're really good.
I don't think we've had that answer before, have we, Pearson?
Super good.
I would probably have to say fried Oreos. I mean, you got Oreos, which is Milk's favorite cookie, and then you fry it, and then you eat it, right?
Totally
What's wrong
nutritious,
with that?
Right? Let me ask you a question, and this is for all of you to answer and stuff, because I asked my athletes, my football athletes, my basketball athletes, you may know the answer. What drink is the most beneficial for sore muscles?
Chocolate milk. Everyone knows. I mean,
Chocolate
come on.
milk, man. I didn't even have to get to the second. Chocolate milk. I mean, and who doesn't like chocolate milk? I mean, even if you're lactose intolerant, you got the almond stuff. So, I mean, it's something in the cocoa bean. You're exactly right.
Absolutely.
So, all right, favorite fair food.
I was going to say, are we still on the fair food question?
Yes, we are.
All righty. Well, there's not much to do back home in the middle of the cornfields. So when we do have a state fair or when we do have a county fair.
Those are the fun ones.
Those are the fun ones. Yeah, they are a lot of fun.
The pig contest and who's got the best sheep and
true.
the cow. And
a lot of, yeah. But let's see. Probably funnel cake. I don't know. Funnel cakes. We get a lot of funnel cakes. Yeah. The lemonade shake-ups, too, are always a hit in the Midwest. So it's always a toss-up. But funnel cakes,
Good deal.
for sure.
In Michigan, it's always like Verner's, you know.
I haven't gone to a state fair or any type of fair in I don't even know how long, probably 10 years. But last time, I just remember liking funnel cakes. I don't really know.
Nothing wrong with that.
I would have to say the meats they grill a lot of stuff here. At least here in Pima County.
You know he was a football player.
At least in Pima County, I like all the meat.
Right on. All right, let's do one more. This is not really a funny question. I just kind of want to get your feel of, being in college. You want to make your impact. You want to make your mark on the world coming out of out of the University of Arizona. If you could be president for one day, what would you change? Anybody can start.
Just like a snap of a finger, or
You got 24 hours to change something.
I don't know. Coach, any help?
Is it only for one day?
Yeah, one day. But whatever you do, it'll be.
Changes forever.
Yeah.
That's a tough
That's why they pay me the big money.
Yeah.
If we were president.
President for one day, what would you
Okay,
change?
I'll start. I would say improve our foreign relations.
Okay,
Because
all right.
for a better world, we have to all work together.
Sure.
And if
Good
we're all
answer.
fighting each other, that's how bad things happen.
It's just like at home
And
when you're fighting your brothers
If we
and
work
sisters.
together, we can ensure better quality of life.
That's a great answer.
I'd probably have to say get rid of poverty.
Okay.
Coming from the Midwest, being close to Chicago, you see a lot of that, and it kind of hits you in a different way. It makes you kind of look at the world from a different perspective, and I think eliminating poverty in some shape or form is probably what I would do if I were president.
Well, that's a great answer because let me kind of interject here.
Yeah.
Your parents' generation, my generation, there was the high class, the middle class, and the poverty class.
Sure.
The middle class is almost non-existent anymore. You've got the rich and the poor,
Right.
and you see that in other countries where the United States was always different, but it seems like the disillusion of the middle class is having a big effect on this country.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better.
All right.
I mean, if I had to change one thing in a day as president, I think it would be the environmental impact we're having,
Good answer.
worldwide, specifically the oceans. Like I mentioned earlier, I told you I wanted to go to the ocean one day and kind of reside there as my home. The ocean's always hit home for me. It's been one of my favorite places in the world since honestly I can remember. And I hate to see the direction we're going with the pollutant in it. And so, I'd say cleaning up the ocean and getting more involved with that. Rainforests, freshwater rivers, stuff like that.
Environmental impact. That's a great answer. Being from San Diego, I know that once a month, I belong to the Surf Rider Foundation. We will go on the beach and clean up the beach. People are pigs still. They leave. They don't. It's like if you take it in, take it out. But people don't adhere to that. In California now, straws are outlawed. So, you have plastic straws. You have a paper straw. It's kind of a good, bad thing because if you get 4 or 5 Cokes, your straw's kind of limp at the end. But, the environmental impact, you don't want to see the sea turtles and, the fish and, the people, with the six-pack plastic around their necks and stuff like that. So, definitely, that's definitely a great thing, and I go along with you if we could change that.
Okay, yeah. I would probably have to agree with Jacob too. I took an environmental class in high school, so actually getting involved with stuff like that is something I'm super interested in. So just kind of I feel like the environmental aspects can affect so much of the world. So just that little change can help with so many different things. I know there's wildfires happening, and then that affects people's homes and where they live. So it's all just kind of a chain reaction. So if one thing can be fixed, I feel it all just kind of makes the world a little better.
And right now they've got those fires in the rainforest, and people have referred to the rainforest scientists and environmentalists as the lungs of the earth because of the fact of how beneficial that part of the world benefits the whole planet. So those are great answers. So we're going to switch up, or we're going to give you a chance to shout out. We'll start again with you.
Okay, awesome. I just want to give a quick shout out to my parents. I love you guys, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, I'd love to give a shout out to my family back home, my boys back home, and Jack Turlo. They've all been instrumental in getting me to where I am, and it's important.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, big shout out to my family back home. You guys have always supported me along the way, and I just want to say I love you and thank you.
Same here. Shout out to my family over there. Thanks for watching, and shout out to Matt DiBertolo and Alex Myers.
I want to shout out my high school. Go Amphi High. Let's go Panthers. And I also want to shout out my former cheer coaches, Julia Ramsey and Kayla Kibley.
All right, great. Well, we want to thank you very much for being on the show. We're looking forward to seeing you guys at all the athletic venues for the University of Arizona. And thank you and congratulations. Keep doing your coursework, and mad respect for you guys. Thanks. All right. So while we're changing up, let's get back to our sponsors. Arizona Motor Vehicle Express. This is right near the Costco up in Marana on Thornydale, just north of the Costco. Believe me, everybody's had the DMV headache. It's like, I have to go get my tags, I've got to change my license, I've got to change my title, and you're there for 2 or 3 hours, and it's a real pain. This way, you can go in there, you're in, you're out. I think I've been in there 3 times or 4 times, 10, 15, 20 minutes tops. Anything that the DMV can do, Arizona Motor Vehicle Express can do. So they charge you an extra $10, big deal. I mean, not going to DMV for 2 hours is definitely worth $10 in my book. Definitely check them out. They're open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Simply Noted LLC. This is a marketing company started by Ricky Elmore, who was a stud linebacker for the University of Arizona. He also played in the NFL for the Houston Texans. He combines social media, the modern technology of social media, with the old school feel of a handwritten note. And believe me, a handwritten note sent to a prospective client goes a long way still in this age of technology. Definitely check him out. He's gotten us sponsors here at 520 Sports Talk. Go to simplynoted.com. Catalina Auto Recycling, Pearson's dad's business. If you want to think about it, all cars run on used parts. As soon as you drive it off the showroom floor, your parts are used. So definitely check it out. I know on my Nissan Z, I've got a bunch of parts. They've never failed, and I've saved a boatload of money. Definitely check them out. Go to CatalinaAutoRecycling.com or give them a call at 520-574-1808. Tuller Trophy, 2 convenient locations. The original location at 6th Avenue and 6th Street. Been there since God was a kid. And the other location at 5700 block of East 22nd Street. Tucson's original trophy place. It's not just trophies and plaques. If you need a door sign for your door at your office, if you need some knickknacks or some marketing giveaways, they also do that. And they also do our Player of the Year awards for football, for volleyball, for girls softball, baseball, and girls and boys basketball in high school. Thank you, Tuller Trophy. New Stitch Embroidery, hey, right here. And you guys got some New Stitch Embroidery shirts today for the show. This place is great. It's got embroidery, it's got silkscreen, and they've got this laser color printer that if you have a cotton shirt, they can do any color in as many colors. If you happen to know anything about silk screening, every single color needs a different screen burn. It costs a lot more money. This way on the laser printer, you can add as many colors as you want for the same price. And TucsonAlist.com, if you want to enhance your business footprint in the Tucson metro area or in southern Arizona, go to TucsonAlist.com. So thank you very much. And also, we will go into a couple extra program notes a little bit later on the show. Thank you guys for being here. I'm really, really honored to have you. I've been looking forward to the show all summer long. I just didn't know who we were going to have. Coach Jamie and I talked in May last year, and we set it up. So thank you so much. We'll start with you. We'll go around this way. Just give us your name, what year you are in school, and what's your course of study.
Hi, I am Skylar. I'm a junior, and I'm studying nutritional sciences.
All right.
Hi, I'm Lainey. I'm a sophomore, and I'm studying special education.
Terrific.
I'm Emmy. I'm a freshman, and I am studying business.
Okay.
I'm Cameron. I'm a junior, and I'm studying financial planning.
I'm Adam. I'm a junior, and I'm studying biomedical engineering.
Okay, just keep that mic right where it's at, Adam. Let's talk about what got you to come to the University of Arizona. I mean, there's 1,000 colleges across the nation. Obviously, your course of study, your degree was the big factor, but what was the final decision to be a U of A Wildcat?
So I grew up in Tucson. I moved here when I was in 2nd grade. Both my parents went to U of A. Both my brothers went to U of A. So, I had to. It was the best choice.
It's not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice at all. I love it. It was the obvious choice. It was the only choice. So I had to go here.
Like I was telling one of the people in the first group, you can still go home for dinner.
You're right. Hey, free dinner's never bad.
Exactly.
I came here because my grandfather played football here, so it's kind of like in my blood. I got to come.
What coach did he play for?
I don't know. I really don't. This was back in the 60s, I believe.
Okay.
So back in the day.
I don't even know who the coach was back then.
Yeah. And so I came here because, I don't know, I've been wanting to come here since I was a kid, so.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I came here mostly just for the beautiful campus and also the sun. I come from a lot of rain, so.
Where did you come from?
I'm from Oregon.
That is a lot of rain.
Yeah. And then also just the cheer program and like the opportunities it gave me. So.
Okay.
I came here for the cheer program and all of the opportunities that we get through cheer.
And where'd you come from?
Phoenix.
Okay.
So when I was looking for colleges, I knew that I wanted a big school and then I wanted to cheer. So I actually came to a program, or like a weekend thing that we have called Future Spirit Weekend. And through that, I decided that I wanted to come here.
And where are you from?
I'm from Anaheim, California.
From Anaheim, okay. Fellow California. I'm from San Diego.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so how many of you have done competitive cheerleading in high school? Okay, so we'll talk to you three. Tell us some of the things that you have to do athletic-wise to be proficient in competitive cheer.
We have to work out a ton to make sure that we are able to do the skills that we do for stunting and tumbling. That's one thing that we have to do.
We have to have practice almost every single day, if not every single day, to make sure that we're keeping on like schedule for what we need when we need it.
I think conditioning is a big part of it because there's a lot that goes into routine, and you have to be conditioned in order to like get through the routine and like execute it well. So.
Exactly, and I was talking to Coach. Not only the balance and the strength and the agility come in, but the thing is, everything is precision. If somebody's off, it throws the whole routine off. And so it's almost like you have an audition in front of 15,000 people in McHale or 40,000 people in Arizona Stadium every single game. And you do what you do, and you guys do it really well. And you embody the term athlete. I mean, there's a football player, a basketball player, volleyball player can't do the stuff you do. I mean, they would look pretty silly. So, don't let anybody ever say, oh, they're not athletes, because that's hogwash. So, all right. So, getting back to the choice of colleges, I know that you being from Tucson, was there any other school that you considered, or like you said, your parents went here, so it was kind of a no-brainer, but and a great choice. But was there any other colleges that you did consider?
I considered a school in the Midwest, a really small school. I really wanted to play baseball, but then I realized I'd rather get a good education. I'd rather stay close to home, rather stay near my family, near my friends, and it's definitely been the best choice of my life.
Great.
For a while there, I considered ASU for business, but at the end of the day, I've always wanted to come here, so I decided U of A.
Not a bad choice at all.
Yeah.
When I was looking for schools, I actually applied to a lot of schools. I applied to like 15 schools. I was just really unsure in what I wanted. But after I visited here, I knew it was like an obvious choice.
Okay.
I also applied to University of Missouri, but ultimately it was I don't want to be in the cold and the snow.
Or Tornado Alley.
Or that too. So.
All right.
I applied to a couple schools in California closer to home, but ultimately I really liked here because of the campus and cheer and the opportunities.
All right, great. All good reasons, and obviously you picked a fine institution with the University of Arizona. So let me ask you this. I asked the other group. What is your favorite sporting event, football, basketball, some of the Title IX sports, to actually cheer at?
My favorite sport I cheered last year was women's basketball. It was so fun.
That's my favorite sport to cover.
It was great. I came into the games thinking like they wouldn't be that fun, but they were a great time. All the players are great. All the fans are great. The coach is great. So it's a great atmosphere to cheer in, and it's honestly a great time.
Coach Barnes is definitely building something very special here at the University of Arizona. I am kind of partial to Coach Barnes because we're both from San Diego, but she is a great coach. She's a great strategist. She's a great recruiter. And, what about that WNIT, that sellout crowd on the championship game?
Yeah, that was great.
I mean, that was just like a men's game.
Yeah.
But the thing is the dynamic of the crowd was a little different because you saw a lot of little kids there.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't maybe see at a men's game. It was more of a family atmosphere. But
Definitely.
That's the plan this year is pack out the house at McHale because she's got some really, really good players for this year's squad to complement the great players that she had last year.
Yeah.
So I'm new on the team this year, so I don't have a favorite yet, but I'm kind of looking forward to soccer, basketball, football.
Okay.
All of them. Yeah.
Not a bad answer.
This is also my first year, so I've only cheered at a volleyball game so far, and that was a lot of fun, but I'm really looking forward to basketball season.
And volleyball's they get decent crowds. Coach Rubio does a great job.
Oh, yeah.
I was at his press conference earlier today. I have mad respect for him. He's one of the longest tenured coaches. He and Coach Candrea for softball. So obviously he's doing things the right way.
Yeah.
Volleyball is my favorite.
Did you play?
No, I did not. But I like the audience a lot. It's very interactive. It's very personal. Makes it a lot of fun.
Now you're in California as I am. So do you ever go to the beach side, the beach game?
I do not.
Okay, not a problem. No wrong answer there. Just wanted to kind of get your feeling on it.
That's a tough question. I think all of them bring something
I get the
different.
big money.
Yeah, something is different with all of them, but I really like basketball games because the crowd is up close and personal. And then women's games, you said that the children are there, which is a really great thing to see.
The nice thing I like about covering Coach Barnes' team is that one day where they have all those school kids there, and there's 5,000 to 8,000 people there, and the kids are screaming, and it's loud inside McHale with the children there, and it's a great experience for them. They get out of school for a day, and obviously they get to see a good quality product on the court. So thank you very much for your answers on that. How are we doing on time, Mr. Producer? Funny question time. All right, so we've talked about academics, talked about what got you into cheerleading. Let's talk about food. You guys all like to eat. You're college students, right? All right. What's your favorite gas station food and drink?
My favorite gas station food and drink.
QT, Circle K, Quick Mart, whatever.
That's a tough one.
Once again, I get the big money for asking these questions.
I think we're going to go with, I really like brisk tea.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. I just do. It's random, but hey, we love it. And don't judge me for this, but back in high school, all my friends and I we get the hot dogs wrapped in bacon at Circle K, and they're
Nothing wrong with that.
They're disgusting, but
Not the
we
higher
always
nutrition,
got them.
but it's we're college kids.
But hey, so those are probably my two
good
favorites.
answer. And there's no wrong answers. I just want to get your take on it.
I definitely am a fan of Skittles.
Okay.
Big Skittles guy. Long car rides, Skittles all the way.
Sure.
Then lemonade to go with that. I like lemonade.
Okay.
Lemonade's a good one. Yeah.
I agree with lemonade. I'll always get like a Minute Maid lemonade, and then I like Twix.
Twix are good. Okay.
I'd have to say probably a donut and coffee.
What kind of donut?
A Long John.
And what do you put in your coffee?
Creamer and sugar.
Okay.
I definitely have to say I love slushies or ices.
Okay.
Either one of those. And then like a good bag of Chex Mix is good.
Okay, all right. Some little different answers than we get from some of the high school kids. All right, let's go in this direction. If you could have lunch with anybody dead or alive from the beginning of time, who would that be? He's like, no, you start.
I would choose Khalid, the artist. I love his
Okay.
music, and I went to one of his concerts recently. He seems like a cool guy.
All right, good answer.
I'd have to say either Dion from Dion and the Belmonts or Billy Joel.
Okay, all right, a little old school.
I would choose the artist Drake.
Okay.
I gotta go with Derrick Rose, my favorite basketball player of all
Sure,
time.
sure.
Yeah.
I'd probably go with Mike Trout.
Okay,
I'm a
baseball player?
Yeah, I'm a big Trout fan, so that's probably my number one.
Good player. I got to see a lot of them in Southern California. So, my personal thing, I would like to pick the brain of Abraham Lincoln. I think that would be really fascinating. I've always loved history. So, all right. So, as we told you in the pre-show instructions, this is a nationwide broadcast. Hopefully, you got a hold of your folks and your friends from back home. Here's your chance to shout out to them right now.
Mom, Dad, I know you're not watching, but hey, thank you.
Well, you can call them and tell them that this is going to be on the Facebook page forever and ever.
Oh, perfect.
And it'll be on YouTube tomorrow as soon as Pearson uploads it.
My mom and dad might be watching, so shout out to them, my sisters, and yeah, that's
All right.
it.
I'd like to shout out my mom, my dad, and my brother.
Cool.
My mom, my dad, and my little brother Keegan are watching. I love you and I miss you.
My mom, my dad, and my two little brothers, Timothy and Benjamin.
All right, great. Well, I want to thank you guys for being a part of the show. Like I said, I've been geeked up about this show all summer long. Continue your course of study. You guys all have good heads on your shoulders. You guys are going to make a big impact in the world when you get out of high school. And obviously have fun cheering and bear down. Thank you. Thanks, guys. All right, so while we're getting the next group up, I got a hold of the journalism teacher, the head of journalism at Pima College, but this also goes for high schoolers. If you want to help internship with 520 Sports Talk, covering sports, learning production with the soundboard, with the camera and whatnot, give us an email at 520sportstalk.com, or excuse me, 520sportstalk@gmail.com. I gave you the website address, 520sportstalk@gmail.com. We'll definitely get you aboard. We'll do some training with you. And the neat thing is we can get you college or high school credits along with your guidance counselor or department head. So definitely check that out. We've gotten 3 new ones from 98.7 The Block. It's Pueblo High School Radio, and they're the only high school in TUSD that has a student radio program. So we're happy to have them. I met with their department head today when I went down to Pueblo to give a player of the game certificate. So like I said, it's a good opportunity, and we will definitely get you either college or high school credit for helping us out. How you guys doing today? Thank you so much for being on the show. So we'll start with you. We'll go around this way. Give us your name, what year you are in school, and what's your course of study.
Hi, I'm Mireya. I'm a junior, and I'm studying chemical engineering and mining engineering.
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm a freshman this year, and I'm studying biochemistry.
I'm Jacob. I'm a senior, and I'm studying communications.
Great.
I'm Savannah Manning. I am a sophomore, and I'm studying nutrition with an emphasis in dietetics and a sports nutrition minor.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a senior, and I'm studying physiology.
All right, great. Thank you so much for being here. Let's talk about what got you into cheerleading. Obviously, I'm assuming you guys were all cheerleaders in high school, maybe with some other sports mixed in, but what got you? I mean, did you just wake up one day and like, hey, I want to be a cheerleader, when you're like 6 or 7, or how did you get into it?
This is actually a really funny story. The first time I ever did cheerleading was because when I was younger, I would walk around with my nose stuck in a book and wouldn't talk to anyone around me, and my parents one day called me downstairs and they're like, hey, we're going to put you in Taekwondo and we're going to put you in cheerleading so that you stop being so weird. And so it worked. Like, the Taekwondo gave me the self-confidence, discipline, and it helped me with cheerleading. Cheerleading helped me with Taekwondo, and I'm more outgoing for it, and it was a good move on my parents' part.
I can see how both would complement each other just from the physical part of it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Mine's also kind of a funny story. So I played football for.
That's why I do this show.
Yeah, I played football for a majority of my life until like 4th grade. I broke my leg. Crazy story, but I won't get into that. And that means I couldn't do football my freshman year. So I was kind of, looking for a sport to try. And then I had a friend who said they needed guys on the cheer team. I did gymnastics when I was younger. I was like, okay, cheer, gymnastics, pretty much the same thing.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, I'll try out, and I've been doing it ever since sophomore year.
All right.
Been a lot of fun.
So I've never cheered before in my life before this. I played soccer my entire life. That was my thing.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I had some friends on the team from last year, and they're the ones who convinced me to give it a shot, so here I am.
Were you a little nervous when you made that decision?
Oh, yeah, I'm still terrified about it.
So I started cheer because I saw my older sister cheering, and I started competitive cheer at the age of 5. And I've been doing cheer ever since, and it's just kind of stuck with me.
All right.
I have kind of a similar story to Mimi's. My brother joined youth football when we moved to Connecticut from New York, and my parents were like, you need to do something, you need to get involved, you need to meet new friends, so they enrolled me in cheer and stuck with it ever since.
And the rest is history, right?
Yes.
All right. Great answers. So what was the deciding factor other than, your course of study that led you to become an Arizona Wildcat?
I actually grew up in Tucson, so I live on Speedway in Silver Bell. My dad has a chiropractic office literally on this same block. He's like one building down. So I actually grew up on this campus. I'd come to work with my dad when I was small, ever since I could remember, and I grew up loving it. I'd see the cheerleaders around, and I was a cheerleader, so I was like, obviously, yeah, this is my dream. I want to do this when I grow up. And my parents were like, okay, maybe one day we'll make it happen. And then it did. But I love U of A specifically because it can give me the best of everything that I want. It's a fun atmosphere. The community is great. I'm close to my family, which is really important to me. And the academics is really good. And the research for the engineering department.
Sure.
Yeah. So it gives me a little bit of everything that I could ever ask for.
The total package.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
My story is pretty much the same thing. I went to Canyon Del Oro High School down a little bit north of here. Yes, it's pretty fun. I grew up in Tucson my entire life, so I've been wearing U of A colors ever since I was a kid, and looking up to the football players and all the sports teams and like that, and just being around the U of A atmosphere. And now that I'm here, I really feel like I can be a great part of that, and I really enjoy that. It's just something I've grown up with, and like Mimi was saying, a lot of the STEM majors, it's really good because we're a research university. So yeah, they just have really good programs and everything. The atmosphere is great here.
So you went from the green and gold to the Cardinal and Navy.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So I'm also actually from Tucson. I went to Ironwood Ridge, right up the street from that. Yep. And so I've been here, and you know, you get so used to being around the U of A and U of A culture. It's all over this city. So when I had the opportunity to come here, I took it, and it's a great school. It had a great athletics program. The academics were great as well.
You know, the one thing that's unique about Tucson, I think, and the U of A is, I'll kind of give a parallel example of Phoenix. When I grew up, I went to the U of A during the 80s. So when I grew up, Phoenix had like the Phoenix Suns, and that was it. There was no other pro sport. So everybody was crazy, you know, about Arizona State Sun Devil athletics. U of A, it's the only game in town. I mean, yes, you have the Sugar Skulls. Yes, you have the Arizona Roadrunner hockey team. But basically, you don't have a lot of competition athletic-wise in Tucson to draw people away from that. I cover ASU football, and I was at their first game last Thursday, and they had an announced crowd of 47,000, but if there was 18,000 in the stadium, they were doing good. I mean, the students showed up in force, but it was 107. There was a Cheap Trick ZZ Top concert. There was a UB40 concert, and the Diamondbacks were playing the Dodgers. So there was a lot of other extracurricular things in the valley to draw people away from going to the football game and sitting in the 107-degree weather. So I think that's a big difference from Tucson to Phoenix.
So coming from California, I kind of knew that I wanted to go out of state. I didn't necessarily want to go to a UC, and both my siblings went to USC, so I was the rebel child and didn't go there, which I'm happy with. I came to U of A just because I loved the feeling and the atmosphere of the school itself, and I love like the big D1 college, having all like the big sports and the different opportunities that arise from that, and the great alumni networking.
So you wanted to bear down, not fight on.
Exactly.
I applied all over the country. I didn't know where I wanted to go, but this was actually the first school that I heard back from. So my mom said, let's just visit, see if you like it. I walked on campus, walked down University Boulevard, and I fell in love within like 10 minutes.
And you're from the New England area?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So it's a lot different weather. The people here are so nice. And
what about the weather? Was it hard to acclimate yourself from seasonal weather to 2 days of winter and
a little bit, actually. So family weekend my freshman year was a day game, and it was like 137 degrees on the field. And coach knows, I struggled. I really did. I didn't hydrate properly. I got used to it. It's my fourth year.
Yeah, you learned that lesson real quick when you moved to
I
Tucson.
Really
It definitely a big change from the seasonal weather that you have up there. But it's great that you came all the way across the country to a fine institution like the University of Arizona. All right, so how are we doing on time? Oh, we got a comment? I can't see it, so let me know what it says.
So Jacob's dad asked, how do you balance school, fraternity life, IFC work, and cheer all at the same time? That must be a lot of work. Yeah.
Okay, Jacob, you're on the spot from Pops.
Well, I just try and stay on top of things, get ahead is the main important thing. Get all my work done first because I know that I have things going on the weekend or practice in the morning. So I study early, get plenty of rest, everything like that.
All right, did we get the wrong guy?
Yeah, well, they're both. He's Jake. Oh, my name's also Jacob.
Okay, so
We got it.
we got it. Okay, that's why you're the producer. All right, so how are we doing on time, bud? We got one more group, right, Jamie? Okay. Funny question. All right, so let's stay with the food thing. Jamie, you seem to like the food questions I've asked. You're all college kids. I know you love to eat. All right. Give me your 2 favorite places to eat, whether it's a restaurant, fast food, mom's cooking, grandma's cooking, and you got to get rid of one the rest of your life.
You have to get rid of one?
Yeah.
So somewhere I don't want to eat?
Yeah, so say, I want McDonald's or EG's and I don't want McDonald's the rest of my, So 2 of your favorites, and then you got to make the hard decisions. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going with KG's. It's a little cafe on the west side.
Okay.
It's my favorite. And then my second favorite place to eat. Let me think.
All right.
I really like sushi, and I like this place called Kampai Sushi.
Okay.
On Orange Grove, but I think I'd have to get rid of the sushi just because KG's.
KG's very good.
You've been there, you
Yes,
know. Okay,
yes.
yeah, and they have a good selection, and literally everything
Yes,
is
they do.
good. So I could
And
live.
I'm in
I could
Marana,
eat
so
there
it's just a shot
for
down
life.
Silverbell.
Exactly. All right, here you go.
Well, my favorite from Tucson obviously got to be EG's.
Okay.
I represent that. And second
Hopefully
favorite.
we'll have them as a sponsor soon. I got a
hopefully.
meeting with them.
Second, I really like Chick-fil-A, especially here on campus. So just because I like EG's a lot, but living on campus, there's not an EG's close, and I've had Chick-fil-A like 10 times in the past 4 days or something, so I gotta go Chick-fil-A.
Okay, so there's an EG's at like Tucson Boulevard in Speedway.
Way too far.
Okay.
Don't have a car.
Okay, all right, fair enough. What do you do on Sunday?
I don't know, pray.
Okay, yeah, can't go to Chick-fil-A. All right.
I'd probably have to say the Buffalo spot right here.
Okay.
My favorite, and my mom's chicken and pasta.
Ooh, this is going to be a tough one because
Yeah.
mom's watching, right?
Yeah, I can't disrespect mom, so I'd have to say that I would have to go out without Buffalo spot for the rest of my life.
He must be a great cook.
My 2 favorites, so I love to cook, and like my dad is kind of the reason I got into cooking. He taught me like young how to barbecue and everything. So home cooking versus, I would say sushi. I'm a huge sushi person.
Love it.
But I'd have to get rid of sushi because I love cooking. It's so much fun for me.
It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
I spent my career on the fire department, and if anybody knows, firemen are great cooks. Because if you're not, and you live, you're with these guys 24 hours a day. If you're not, guess what you do? You do the dishes. So you learn how to cook really well. And then after I got out, I got into restaurants for a while. Went to culinary school, actually down in Hermosillo. So I can cook like Sonoran Mexican food and Baja style Mexican food. So yeah, cooking is a lot of fun, and there's a lot of benefits of knowing how to cook.
Oh, huge benefits.
All my teammates know I live at Miss Saigon on Campbell. I go there like 3 times a week
Love
minimum.
the pho.
That's definitely my favorite, and I also love pizza because I'm half Italian. Can't not like pizza. I guess
figure, huh?
Brooklyn pizza on 4th is really good
Really
for
good.
like Tucson pizza. I'm an East Coaster. I would say I'd get rid of the pizza.
New York
I would get rid of the pizza.
better than Chicago style. I'm not
Yes.
into the bread.
Yes, pho. I have to have pho.
There we go. All right, good answers. All right, so I'm going to kind of go retro a little bit, a couple years, and give you this question, but I want to, even in college it applies. It's a 2-part question. What's the hardest thing about being a kid, and what's the best thing about being a kid?
Okay, the hardest thing about being a kid, I think, is not being able to go where you want. I was a really antsy kid, so I always wanted to be going places, doing things, and I'm still like that a little bit. But if my parents wanted to spend a day at home, I was never a big fan of that. So I think that's probably the hardest thing about being a kid. But the best thing about being a kid is all the time you get to spend with your family. I think it's really important, and that's a great thing that you get to do as a kid. You don't really realize that until it's a little bit later. But that's for sure the best part.
I tell my high schooler kids when I have them on the show, my athletes, the 4 years in high school and the 4 years in college are the best 8 years of your life. I mean, you're healthy, you have a lot of energy, you're on your parents' dime. Because when you get out of college, hey, wow, so I got to get a job. You're going to start your own family, and the cycle starts over where you're going to have to be responsible. And you can't just say, oh, I don't want to go to work. Well, gee, my family wants to eat. I'm going to have to go to work. So yeah, enjoy the college experience. You've already enjoyed the high school experience because it doesn't get any better.
The hardest part about being a kid, I don't know. I can't really agree with Mimi because I got to go a lot of places as a kid. My parents hired a nanny, so it wasn't really that big a deal for me. But probably the hardest thing was, for me personally, keeping up with all of my interests, because I did have a lot of interests and I did have a lot of hobbies, and I had to drop a couple of those as a kid because as much as I told my parents I have time for this, I have time for that, they had to kind of execute a decision that a couple times. But the best part, was growing up, definitely my friends. I've had a really good group of friends, and I've pretty much known them for 12 plus years. Great guys. Love them to death. Shout out to the boys.
All right.
I would have to say the hardest part about being a kid was, well, for me, I moved around a lot. My dad was in the military.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
Yeah, so I moved around a lot, so starting over constantly was hard. But on the flip side, one of the best parts was, that taught me a lot about being in person and talking and making new friends. And I also had a great group of friends growing up that I've had so many special memories with, whether through athletics or outside of that. So,
there's a kind of a double-edged sword of being a military brat. You've got to start over, every few years when your dad or mother relocates. But look at all the experiences of the places that you've been that most people will never experience. So it's kind of a good bad thing.
I think one negative part or bad part about being a kid is not listening to your parents and making mistakes and having to learn from them. I think it's one of those things that it gets better with age, obviously, but it's you have to make that mistake. Yeah, you have to make the mistake before you actually learn from it. And I think one good thing about being a kid would definitely be blazing your trail, making your mark on whatever
Great
it is,
answer.
and especially nowadays, whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. And I really love that you can make your own opportunities and stuff like that.
That's a great answer.
Ooh, Savannah took mine. Let's think. I think the hardest and the best part about being a kid is being carefree and really being who you are. It's hard as you grow up to find who you are, and as a kid, you don't care what other people think.
Okay. I think one of the hardest things also about being a kid is something, maybe not so much in college, but maybe middle school and junior high, is people don't take you as seriously as you probably want them to do. It's oh, you're a kid, but you can learn actually as much as you learn from your parents, your teachers, and whatnot. There's a lot to be learned from kids. I mean, kids are brutally honest. They will tell you exactly where they're coming from. There's no games. There's no guesswork. It's the kind of a mic drop moment, when sometimes you blurt out something. So, no, those are good answers. Okay, so let's do one more question. You got something for me, Pearson? Okay. Would you rather live in the past in a certain decade, you can say 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, or would you think you would rather live in the future in the unknown?
I personally think that I would rather live in the past. I wouldn't go too far back. I'd be maybe 70s, 60s, something like that.
A little hippie stuff, going on there.
Not really hippie, just the more laid back, talk to people. There's not that many advancements. It's very simple. It's just back to human interaction.
Sure, that's a great point. I mean, you see people like this across the table from each other. I'm talk to each other.
Yeah, I think it's a big deal. You can learn so much from every person that you talk to and every person that you come across. And I talk to a lot of people, I feel and some people think that that's weird. My parents always tell me, don't talk to the people that you meet on the street, that's dangerous. But you could do that back then, so I think I would like that.
You could do that back then, yes. That's a great answer.
I think I definitely got to go with the future. I'm pretty sure the future is going to be really cool. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff just to mess around with, and I already know what happened in the past, so might as well just try out the new future.
Okay, George Jetson, what do you think would be the best thing about going into the future?
I'm thinking, I always wanted to fly ever since I was a kid. So,
nothing wrong with that.
There you go.
All right.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to fly.
Great answer. Jacob.
The future seems interesting, but I'd probably definitely want to go back in the past to the 80s.
80s was a fun decade.
I grew up, my dad with like hair metal, like listening to, Motley
Sure.
Crue, Def Leppard, anything like that. So I think I would definitely love to be in that time period.
There was a big difference in, because I was alive, there was a big difference going out of the 70s and into the 80s. I mean, you had, going out of the 60s and the 70s, you had the rock and roll bands really took foot. And then in the late 70s, you had the disco era, which either you loved or you hated. And then disco kind of died out, and then new wave music came in, where you had the 80s new wave bands. But then you also had the hair metal bands, so it was kind of one against the other. Hair metal and new wave actually kind of joined into alternative music, where now it's kind of a little edgy and hardcore, but it's not something that like you would get with like classic rock or something like that. So just from the music aspect, it's kind of neat to look at the transformation of different decades.
I would definitely say I would go to the past, around 70s or 80s, just listening to my parents' stories, like when they grew up and everything. I'm like, if I did anything like that now, I would probably be in jail.
Good point.
I think it was just way more free back then. Like, they kind of just did whatever they want. Like Mimi said, it was more like social interaction rather than having like technology in our face all the time. And it was more personal. And I think the 70s and 80s were definitely like a high point.
I like to watch the YouTube videos of a millennial, and you put a dial phone in front of them, and they're or even like Pearson. I happened to give him some instructions on the soundboard. I said, this goes at 3 o'clock, that goes at 12 o'clock, that goes at 9 o'clock. He goes, I'm a millennial, I don't know what that is. so I just like, yeah, you're right. I guess I'm gonna have to put this in a different context. So yeah, there's definitely a big change. We did stuff like we rode in the back of pickup trucks. It was legal back then. Drank water out of a hose. We'd set ramps up with our bikes and jump over things, jump over people. We'd have kids laying on the floor, let's see my bike, if you don't, you're landing on a kid. So you'd never see that in this day and age. So yes, things are definitely changed, but like you said, Mimi, it was more personal. People interacted with each other. They knew how to talk and communicate. The technology has definitely changed things, some for the better and some maybe not so much so.
I completely agree with the whole personal, not technology. I would probably go back to the 80s as well. I'm a big fan of 80s music. I love Queen. To be able to see Freddie Mercury live is a dream of mine that will never happen, sadly.
I hear you. I always wanted to see the Police, and I never got to see them, and then they broke up. So maybe one day we'll hope they get back together for at least one concert. So in this day and age, I think we all agree that the personal communication is kind of a lost art. I mean, like I said, I see guys and gals out on a date, and they're texting to each other, and they're right across the restaurant table from each other. Or even people my age are like, text me. I'm like, just pick up your phone and call me, because texting to me is like, I'm running late, I'm going to pick up a soda on the way home. It's not writing a paragraph or a novel, when I can just talk and we can have our conversation done in 2 minutes, where it's going to take me 5 or 6 minutes to text the same thing. So different age, different eras, good or bad, I think it's here to stay. So we just, us older people have to deal with it. If I ever have a computer problem, or one of my iPad or my iPhone, I ask a high school or college kid, and they usually help me out. So, all right, so we're going to give you a chance to shout out. Hopefully you got a hold of your folks and your friends from wherever you are, even if you're in town and they're watching. So here's your chance.
I want to say hi to my parents. I know they're watching. I don't know where you're watching, maybe on the computer, but hi. Also, I want to give a shout out to all the cheerleaders in Tucson right now, all the youth cheerleaders. I know I cheered for the Rams when I was little, so if you're watching, hello. Hopefully we see you guys all out at Cheerfest later. If you follow us on Instagram, you can keep up with that.
Terrific.
I would also like to shout out my parents. Hi, Mom and Dad. Love you guys lots. Maybe my brother, if he's watching. He's probably not. Also, shout out the boys. They're definitely not watching, but, might as well.
The nice thing about technology is
Yeah.
we're going to post this and they can
Well,
watch
they'll
it later.
find it. I'll make sure they watch this. So this is for you guys. And also shout out Revolution Elite cheer team here in town. Love you guys lots. You guys did great for me. Thank you.
All right.
Shout out my family. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. And special shout out to my godson, Cade.
Terrific.
Shout out to my family and my parents and my dog Baxter. I miss him very much. And also to my boyfriend for coming and watching this right now.
All right. Baxter, we love you.
Shout out my family. Hi, you guys, if you're watching. Shout out Brandon Leone, who's sitting in the crowd right now. And also, yeah, Cheerfest is amazing. So if you guys have the opportunity that weekend, you're free, come out and join us. We'd love to have you.
Terrific. I want to thank you guys for being on the show. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Look forward to seeing you at the athletic events that I cover for 520 Sports Talk. Continue with your studies. Go make your mark in the world. And once again, thanks for being an Arizona Wildcat and Bear Down. All right. I also want to give a personal shout out to Lori Vega, our new marketing person. If you own a business out there, most likely she's going to be contacting you. This is a great way to spread your footprint in the southern Arizona region, whether it's in Tucson, Marana, Vail, Oro Valley, Sahuarita, or even in different parts of Tucson. We have close to 8,000 followers in 3 years. So when we get the word out, it definitely works. Most of our sponsors have been with us since the beginning of 2016 when 520 Sports Talk was formed. So if you have a business out there, we are ridiculously cheaper than radio, than TV, than cable advertising. When she gives you a call, have a listen to what she said, because I think we can definitely help each other out and get your business name and product or service out there into the community. All right, so is this the last one? All right, so I always ask my high school teams this, and there's no wrong answer, but I think it's kind of fun. Yeah, they can sit right here. Did we save the best group for last?
Absolutely.
Yes. What?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, guys. Okay, well, so we'll start with you. We'll go around this way. Give us your name, what year you are in school, and what's your course of study.
I'm Ryan Niehoff. I'm a sophomore this year. I'm pre-business right now. I'm going to the Eller School of Management this next year, my junior year. I'm probably going to study finance or MIS. And yeah.
Eller School of Management's a top-notch college.
Hi, I'm Nina. I'm a junior, and my major is political science with an emphasis in international relations and a minor in communication.
All right.
Hi, I'm Carter. I'm a junior right now, and I'm triple majoring in finance management and entrepreneurship.
Attaboy.
Hi, my name is Spencer. I'm a junior, and I'm studying finance.
Okay.
I'm Julio. I'm a freshman. I'm studying engineering.
I'm Cameron. I'm a junior, and I'm a double major in Spanish linguistics and sociology.
All right, great. We'll keep it right here with you, Cameron. When did you decide to be a cheerleader? Did you just wake up one day and like, hey, I want to be a cheerleader?
That's essentially what happened in my case. Right before I graduated, it was April of the graduation, high school, and I'd sent an email to Coach one day, asking if there was any room on our team or anything, and I didn't make the tryout, so I tried out later, or asked to try out later, and she happened to have an extra spot on the team, and I tried out that June, and it was just kind of pieced itself together. It was kind of cool.
That is cool. That's a good story.
My story. So my sophomore year, I was at a pep assembly for my high school. I saw some guys partner stunning, and I just told myself I want to do that. And that's how I became a cheerleader.
Good story.
I had a few friends that were cheerleaders, and 3 weeks before the tryout, I decided let's try cheerleading. So
why not?
that's what happened with me.
All right,
Yeah.
good deal.
I just had a lot of friends on the team who really liked it, and they had a good year doing it the year before, so I figured I'd give it a try.
All right.
I cheered all 4 years in high school. I was actually a base, so I had to learn to fly before I could try out, but I had a lot of friends on the team, so I just decided to give it a try, and it worked out.
How is it being a flyer?
I love it. It's a lot better than basing.
I bet.
Yeah.
So my good friend Carter Hayek, he's a third-year junior on the team. He told me about cheer and convinced me to try out, and I ended up really liking it. I thought it was really cool, and so I just started this past year. It's been great.
No, you guys are going to do great. Whether you're returning or you're brand new, it's you got the best coach in the nation. So let me ask you this: why Arizona? What did I mean? Do you obviously, some of you, maybe not all of you, applied to different schools. What was your deciding factor to attend the University of Arizona?
Well, I am part of a family that are like all Sun Devils, so that's kind of something I guess is interesting. But
Would be a nice conversation in the living room.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I chose the U of A because it had the best college town feel. I wanted something that was like a functioning and like progressing university, but at the same time had that home feel, and I definitely got that here.
All right.
I chose the U of A because I grew up here. I wanted to go to the engineering program because it's really like a really good school, college here.
Okay.
And I just wanted to cheer, so I'd rather go here than the ASU.
Where did you go to high school?
Amphi High School.
So you traded the green and black in for Cardinal and Navy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's still an A.
All right.
Yeah.
I chose the U of A because I'm from Phoenix, so ASU was a little bit too close to home. U of A is the right distance away. I still wanted to stay at home so I could have the option driving home whenever.
Go home on the weekend, have mom do your laundry?
Exactly.
Attaboy.
Have mom do the laundry.
And I'm also from Phoenix, and I'm doing business in Eller, and it's a great school, so I just figured that I'm come on down. 2 hours is like the perfect distance where you can get away, but also go home if you want.
Actually, I'll be up in the Valley the next 2 days. I've got a 602 Sports Talk show in Chandler at Copper Still Moonshine Grill right off the 10 in Chandler next to Rudy's. And Friday, I'll be covering the Sun Devil football game.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I had an older sister who goes to U of A, and I visited her a lot. So I fell in love with the campus and like the Tucson community. So that's why I decided to come to U of A.
All right, great.
So kind of like what Spencer and Carter were saying, I'm from Phoenix as well. It's like just 2 hours away, and it's kind of the perfect distance, like just far enough away from home, but not too far. And also for the Eller business school.
Yeah, Eller School of Business is top notch, and you guys from the Valley, you can still go home and get mom's cooking and get your laundry done and see your friends and family up there. It's kind of neat. I'm from San Diego, so it's a little bit different situation. It's a 5 or 6 hour drive compared to just up the road. Okay, so 619, baby, that's right. And hopefully we'll get a 619 or an 858 sports talk show here coming up soon. All right, so what is your favorite sport? And those of you who are new to the team, what is the sport that you look forward to the most to cheer?
Definitely football season.
Okay.
I think that being in the stadium versus being in McHale, two totally different environments, but the one that I just really thrive off of, I feel like, is football. 100%.
Did you play football?
Yes, I did play football.
I was going to say, you're a big guy.
Yeah.
You look like a football player.
Truly, I don't know what sport I'm looking forward to. It's my freshman year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to go out there, experience everything with an open mind and just have fun.
And it's totally different atmosphere. I mean, like he said, you've got the open air football field where obviously Arizona Stadium holds a lot more people than McHale, but you've got the intimacy of McHale where it's jam-packed full with 15,000 screaming fans. So I mean that's also speaks for itself. So it's like an apple and an orange, but you like both of them.
Yeah. So I'd say baseball is my favorite sport. I grew up playing it, but we don't get the opportunity to cheer for that. So I'm looking forward most to men's basketball season. Just like you said, like McHale gets crazy packed and a lot of energy. So it's really
for decades. It's been
for
crazy
decades.
packed.
Yeah. So.
I grew up all my life playing soccer, so that's usually my favorite sport. But just like Julio, I really don't know what I'm looking forward to most because I haven't done any of it. But football season seems really exciting, same as basketball.
All right, good.
My personal favorite to cheer is football. I love how the whole Tucson community shows up, and it's just a great environment.
It is fun.
This is my first year as well, so I'm not entirely sure, what sport I'd want to, look forward to the most. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick football, just because of the size of the stadium and the overall atmosphere. But yeah.
My brother. All right. Okay, so how are we doing on time? Okay. So did any of you guys cheer competitively in high school where you went to competitions and whatnot? Okay, so you two answer this question. What is, I mean, it's grueling. I mean, it's like any football player, basketball player, or track athlete. I mean, it's a grueling, you know, you have to go to practice. You have to be able to, you know, tumble and flip and all that kind of stuff. You with the, you know, being a base guy, you're going to have incredible upper body strength. What's the biggest difference?
The biggest difference between high school, like competitive, and this? Biggest difference is not as much practice. So, like, when I was in high school, I was doing high school competitive cheer, and I was doing all-star competitive cheer.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was just a lot of practice on itself. That's probably the biggest difference. You know, you still cheer in high school. I'm cheering here. I guess the atmosphere is like we're not going out there to be super competitive, you know. We're not trying to always improve. We're also just trying to help everybody get better levels.
Trying to geek up the crowd.
Yeah. We're trying to get everybody good, you know, like everybody.
Okay.
We're not just trying to progress as time goes on, if that makes sense, because we want to beat other schools.
No, that makes total sense. And it all goes down, even with football, basketball, or any other type of athletics. It's a team atmosphere. You want to be able to be a good teammate and not just a good individual. That's a great answer.
For me personally, high school was way more time consuming, especially for like all-girl team, because we have to like lift up each other, and all girls in high school are like the same size, so it's more difficult and challenging.
Sure.
Compared to like our team is co-ed, so it's easier for boys to lift up girls.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, I didn't ask this. I got Coach standing over here, but I didn't ask this question to any other group. But I'd like to get you. And there's no wrong answer, and I don't think she'll get mad at you. But what routine or what exercise do you do that you absolutely don't like? And anybody can start.
Mine is definitely when we go. So we have like for competitive, just full out day, and I hate that. I hate doing full outs because it's back to back to back to back, because we're doing them until we're exhausted. We're doing them until we fail. We're doing them until everybody hits. You know, it's so on, and it's gruesome.
Tell them about bear crawls in football.
Honestly, one thing that's interesting about like coming from a different sport or multiple sports to cheer is that like it's up there. I would definitely, at the beginning of my like cheer career, I wasn't expecting it to be as difficult, but it's definitely up there with, you know, I wrestled and played football in high school, and like it's definitely up there in terms of, you know, how much energy you're expending upon everything that you do. But I was definitely going to say the same thing. Like full outs when we do our routines are tough, man. They're real difficult.
No, that's a great answer, both of you guys, and this is what we want to convey to the audience out there, is how athletic you guys all have to be. You know, it's not just the pom poms and the megaphones and the signs. You know, at Arizona Stadium or at McHale Center. You know, there's a lot of preparation. There's a lot of athletic agility, strength, balance that goes into being a cheerleader. You know, and I have mad respect for you guys. In my opinion, you're just as much of an athlete as a football player, basketball player, or track athlete, or any other sport, because of the fact, like Coach said, you practice 20 hours a week. I mean, I'm sure that the other sports practice probably around the same amount of time, and yet, you know, sometimes cheerleaders kind of don't get the recognition that they should, and that's one of the reasons I wanted you guys on the show. I've had high school cheerleaders on the show that are in competitive teams too. So, I mean, you guys got it going on, and, you know, like I said, you have my internal and mad respect. So, let me ask you this.
Cameron, what is your favorite fruit?
Favorite fruit?
Food or fruit? Fruit, okay.
Okay, cool. Pineapples.
My brother. All right. All right. So how are we doing on time, Mr. Producer? Okay, so let's go to the funny questions. We talked about school. You guys obviously know how important it is being a student athlete, not an athlete student, because at the end of the day, once college is done, you know, reality hits, and you've got to go out and get a job. You're going to be starting your own families, and you know, the whole cycle starts over when same reason your parents, you know, did, and you're going to be in their place. So let me ask you this, and I asked the other three groups food-related questions because, you know, you're college kids. I know you love to eat and stuff, okay? What's your two favorite places near campus that you like to eat, and you got to get rid of one? Anybody can start.
All right, so number one place to eat at campus is BDK.
Okay.
Because, we get free food there.
Okay. Nothing wrong with free food.
Number two place is probably going to be the little snack bar in McHale.
Right by the right outside the communications office.
Yeah.
I'm-
And
was
if
there
I had
today.
to eliminate one, it'd be the snack bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
In terms of food places around
It
campus.
doesn't have to be on campus, just
Right,
near
yeah,
campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really like Baggins.
Good sandwiches. Okay.
Great sandwiches, and then I really like Canes too. So if I had to get rid of one, I'd get rid of Baggins.
Okay.
Just because I get the same thing every time there. So
Let me ask you this, because I've always wondered about this. I like Cane's personally, but very simple menu. It's kind of like In-N-Out. There's just a few items on the menu, but what is the draw? I mean, chicken is chicken. I mean, it's good chicken, but people's like, oh, the bread's wonderful. I'm like, seriously, you go to Cane's for bread?
here's the thing, though: when you get that bread and dip it in the sauce, it's unreal. It's magical.
Okay, all right, I'll buy it. Yeah,
Plus,
the sauce is good.
Plus, it's pretty cheap and it's close.
That's true. No,
So
all good
yeah.
points, and like I said, no wrong answers.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to know what the mystique was about Cane's.
Right. Yeah.
I'm an
Definitely.
In-N-Out guy just because I'm from San Diego. So you kind of just grow up with, beach volleyball, surfing, and In-N-Out. So.
Yeah.
All right, who else?
I think my two favorite places, like on or around campus, probably be Illegal Pete's and Bisbee Breakfast Club. I love their food, so I'd probably get rid of Pete's, honestly, because I could eat.
Well, seeing how we're at Frog and Firkin, I would get rid of Illegal Pete's too. How did you like the food here?
That's good.
It's really good. Yeah, it's one of the best places to eat in town. Who's next?
I really recently started liking Gray's Burgers.
Good burgers, okay.
Great burgers, and probably No Anchovies, the pizza place.
Okay, on the other side of Frog and Firkin.
But yeah, I'd probably have to get rid of Gray's though, because Smash Burger is probably just as good.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. There's a lot of
Yeah.
good burger places.
Yeah, but No Anchovies.
Five
unreal.
Guys is good, yeah.
Yeah.
I am too.
I really like Baggins also. And I also really like Beeline, if you know what that is.
Okay.
And if I had to get rid of one, I'd probably get rid of Baggins.
Okay, interesting.
So I'd probably say Illegal Pete's and No Anchovies. And if I had to get rid of one, probably say Illegal Pete's because there's a Chipotle right across the street. I do prefer Illegal Pete's to Chipotle, but at the end of the day, it is similar food. And I don't think there's a place like No Anchovies. So.
Okay, and there's no wrong answers here. So, all right. So let me ask you this. It's kind of a think outside the box question. Okay.
Absolutely.
You're on a deserted island.
Alrighty.
You can bring three things with you. A person is a thing. Go.
Okay. I'd bring my phone to listen to music.
There's a lot of cell sites on deserted islands. Okay.
I'd bring my mom for her cooking.
That's a great choice.
And then bring some matches.
Okay. All right. All right. Outside the box.
All right, so I'm definitely bringing Brave Wilderness, right? This guy probably knows how to do everything.
Okay.
Okay, my mom, because I know for sure she knows how to do everything.
Okay. Good answer.
And a trained dolphin.
Okay. Don't you love this show?
Okay, so I'm
Not
gonna
what I'm looking for. Outside the box.
I'm gonna bring Julio.
Okay.
Because
all right. Because he's your boy.
And he's got the trained dolphin with him too.
There you go.
So I figured
All right,
that would
yeah.
help.
I've never had a trained dolphin answer.
A nice stack of books.
Okay.
I could get into reading while I'm there.
Okay.
And a
Kids
bow.
do that still?
No.
They don't have a Kindle or
No,
you
no, no.
actually pick up a book?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll bring like a bow and arrow.
Okay.
So I can hunt.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I'd probably bring a nice speedboat, a charcoal grill, and probably just one of those giant frozen bags of chicken breast from Costco. So
outside the box, he does not want to stay on the island.
I would bring my dad because he knows how to do everything outdoorsy. I would bring matches for fire and probably a tent.
Okay.
I'd probably be my mom. She's really cool. And then probably a grill as well and a water plane.
Okay, so you're the only one that doesn't want to stay on the island. The rest of you guys just make yourself comfortable. I don't know how you're going to do the cell site thing with the island, but we'll figure that out.
Have you seen Green Arrow?
Yes.
I'm staying on that island.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right. Go ahead. I need to get you mic.
Carter, do you enjoy Lion King?
Is that question by any chance from Jacob Crow? Yes, it is. Jacob Crow, I love you and the Lion King. The soundtrack is unreal.
There you go.
Shout out to Crow.
All right, what do we got on time, bud? Okay. I don't like this group, though. We did save the best for last, didn't we? No offense to the other guys. So, let me ask you this. Kind of along the same lines as the island, but a little different scenario. You guys all watch Walking Dead? Zombies? Okay, so I guess I can't ask that question. All right. Let me ask you one of the ones that you've used for a long time. Nah, that's too easy. Would you rather be a dragon, own a dragon, or slay a dragon?
Be a dragon.
Why?
Because, shoot, I don't know.
Because you're a dragon,
yeah,
okay.
I'm a dragon. I don't need to
Self-explanatory.
explain myself.
All right.
Let me explain to you the right answer. Okay, so I'm owning a dragon.
Sure.
Let me tell you why. You can slay that thing whenever you want.
Sure.
Right? You owning it, and if you really wanted to be a dragon, you can train it and fly on that thing.
Well, I'm thinking like the parking garage here, the one over by McHale and stuff. It's like, you want to move your car, I got to park my dragon. If they don't want to move, it's like, it's toast.
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Okay.
I would say slay the dragon. My friends have always called me Dragon Slayer to begin with, so.
And chicks dig it, right?
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
there you go.
So it works really well.
Game, set, match.
Yep.
I'd say slay the dragon too, because like I have a lot of Tupperware and Ziploc bag. You have meal prep for a while. You're eating dragon.
That's
with my grill,
that's a great answer.
I would definitely own a dragon.
Why?
Have you seen the TV show Game of Thrones?
Yes.
That's why.
Good answer. That's
Yeah.
self-explanatory.
I would own a dragon as well, and for all of Julio's reasons, he explained everything very well.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys, we appreciate you being on. We're going to give you a chance to shout out to your folks at home, whether they're here in Tucson or in other cities or states, or anybody else that you want to say hi to.
All right, so on Cam's behalf, I also want to shout out Coach Bernier. I want to shout out Coach Kayla, it's my high school coach. Coach Luis.
Saguaro?
No, Amphi.
Amphi, okay.
Yeah. Coach Luis, all-star coach. My mom, Calderones, Chavira's, and my girlfriend, Mariella.
All right, great.
I don't have a personal shout out. Can I shout out another account?
You can do that. I've had dogs, fish,
Right,
whatever.
okay. So I started this new food account for my crock pot. It's called Crockpot Paradise. So follow that account on Instagram. There's tons of great recipes. Easy to use, very cheap. Very good for any college student, any family. So check that out. Thank you.
Ladies, he will cook for you. I mean, that's...
And I'll do that too.
Yeah, just shout out my family, shout out my dog, shout out Jacob Crow. That's about it, yeah. Shout out just everyone in Phoenix.
All right.
Shout out to my family and shout out to my golden retriever, Brandy.
That's a good one.
Brandy.
Dogs are always great.
Yeah, shout out to my mom, shout out to Jacob Cowler, and shout out to K-Dog.
All right, sounds good. Well, it's been my honor to have you guys here, the 2019-2020 Arizona Wildcat cheer team. Coach Bernier, I want to thank you for allowing us to have you on the show and your team. You guys are great athletes. You're great students. Go out and make your mark on the world. Have fun while you're in college, because after college, life gets real serious real quick. So have fun, enjoy yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you at McHale and other places, other athletic venues that you guys cheer for. So thank you very much. Appreciate you coming to the show. Remember, after the show is over, thank you. After the show is over, we will post it on Facebook. Pearson will have it on YouTube, on the 520 Sports Talk YouTube channel. It will stay on there forever. So if you didn't get a chance to watch us live, you can go home and watch it. You guys can all go home and watch it yourselves on the show as well. So that's kind of neat. So remember our other social media accounts: Twitter at 520 Sports Talk, Instagram 520 Sports Talk, YouTube 520 Sports Talk, channel Facebook 520 Sports Talk, and also our website 520sportstalk.com. Thank you very much. Tomorrow night, Friday night, I got a day ahead of me. Mr. Pearson Sturdivant and Sean Scott will be on the campus of Saguaro High School for the Battle of the East Side, Sabino Sabercats and the Saguaro Cougars, for our high school spotlight game of the week. I will be up in Phoenix at the Arizona State, Sacramento State football game, and we also have a show tomorrow up in Chandler at the Copper Still Moonshine Grill for club softball. The Saguaro Sluggers, the 10U and the 14U team. So it should be a really good show, a lot of fun. You never know what's going to come out of the kids' mouths when you ask them a question. So definitely you can check that out on the 602 Sports Talk Facebook page. So for Pearson Sturdivant, one more thing I want to say. Please remember David Adams in your thoughts and prayers. David is probably one of the best 3 running backs to ever play at the University of Arizona. He lost his mom this last week, and the funeral will be on Friday. So just keep him in your prayers and thoughts. I ran into Lamont Hunley today at Lucky Wishbone, and all the football players are going to be there. And so, David, we love you, we miss you, and our thoughts and our prayers are with you. So just remember, you can whenever you're ready, we'll have you back. And do I miss anything else? I think I'm good. Bear down. There we go. Bear down, Wildcats. All right, so Pearson Sturdivant for Bill McCullough. 520 Sports Talk, Southern Arizona sports with a twist, and it's a wrap.